Let's face it, Windows 11 is a total mess, and people who even can upgrade are facing so many issues with it. It's a total mess and nobody wants it. Everyone wants to stay away with. But what are you going to do? What is the next best option? Well, after trying a lot of options, I have found the best option that works for me. It's a Linux distro, but don't worry, it is the simplest, the easiest to use, and the least bug-free Linux distro that I found according to my experience. And I'm so happy with it that I transitioned two of my main computers, not my work computer, but the other two computers that I have at my home. I've transitioned it to this OS. The OS is called Zoran OS. It is a Linux distro, and I'll tell you all about it in this video, and how you can get it. Everything I'll tell you in this video, the main benefits of it, and you can decide if you want to switch to this OS yourself. So as I said, I was having issues with the Windows 11. As you know, there are a lot of bugs in it, and it's doing things like deleting files. I don't know what all. Many people are facing so many issues with it. The newsrooms are littered with problems that Windows 11 is facing, and I'm using good hardware. The other desktop is a Ryzen computer, so Ryzen, AMD and everything is there. It has graphics cards, everything is there, but it's not performing as it should on Windows 11. So I had to find an alternative. The alternative, after trying 2 or 3 Linux distros, this was the one that caught my eye. Zoran OS is simple to use. The first thing that you have to understand is it is the simplest thing to use. The installation was simple. There are no codes, nothing you have to put. There is no coding experience required. Even if you are a layman, you can just follow basic online tutorials and you will be able to install it without any issues. You can try it live if you want, and then you can install it. The usage is very simple. It feels like Windows 7. That's how similar it is. You can use the latest softwares on it, whatever is available for Linux, of course, but it is easy. When I say installing softwares, that's when you might be worried, oh my god, installing something on the Linux operating system, it was a pain in the past. Fear not, it has its own built-in software store. Just like your Microsoft Store and the other stores that are there, it has its own store built in, and you just have to search for whatever you want. One touch install. Basically, just I want to install it, that's it, done. Just the same experience as Apple or any other online store like the Microsoft Store, the Apple Store, everything. That's the same experience you get. So the biggest hassle that you had in the past with Linux was installing something. You will have to go into the code, change things. None of that is required. Anyone can use it. It's that simple. Second thing you will like about it is the appearance. Zoran OS has 4 default themes that you can use. 2 of them look like Windows 7, one looks like Windows 11, and one looks like the Mac. All of these theming options are available. You will be happy with all the theming options available, and everything you can customize to your heart's content. It's not hard customization, it's all there in the menus. You can change the font size, default font layers, everything can be changed, and you can make the OS your own. It has the transitioning wallpaper from day to night like the Mac OS has. That is built into Zoran OS. You have that. You have different kinds of, it looks really good. It doesn't feel like a dated operating system, or it doesn't feel like you're using something cheap. It feels well touched, well polished. The appearance is really well touched, well polished. Third thing you will like about it is you will enjoy the entire experience. The installation experience is easy. The actual usage experience is bug free. I haven't had it crash on either of my computers till date, and I've been using it for more than 3 months now. That's how long I've been using it, and I haven't had one crash, one problem with it. That's how stable it has become. So you will enjoy the usage experience. Things like my Bluetooth headphones, in Windows 11 it wasn't connecting, but I am able to connect it without any problems with both of my computers. It's connecting easily. Peripherals are working. My printer, which is notorious for not working without the drivers, it worked straight out of the box. I didn't have to do anything, I didn't have to do any hocus pocus on it. It just worked. I just had to search it in the Wi-Fi and you got the Wi-Fi printer, and that's it. Everything, printing, scanning, everything works straight out of the box. That's how well it is coded. Now, as I said, the other desktop is a very powerful desktop. It has Ryzen CPU and it has a very high-end specs. The laptop that I use for general media consumption and some other things, cameras, stuff like that, the security camera stuff and all that, that doesn't have, it's a older laptop. It's a high-end laptop, but it's an older laptop. Even on that, there was no issues. It's working flawlessly. Full disclosure, the work laptop that I use, all of you know, it's a Mac. So I use a Mac for my work laptop. That's my primary laptop. But the other two computers are also things that I use on a daily basis, and on those the experience, it's really good. I haven't had any issues. The fourth thing you will like about it is the underlying pinnings of it is Ubuntu. That means you have a really good software support. You can install Wine on it, you can do things like that, you can easily tinker with it, and there is a very big development community behind it. So most of the softwares that you want to run on it will run. There will be a Linux version of it. Everything is available. Now the biggest problem that you might think of is what happens to my Word, or what happens to the Office applications that I use on a day-to-day basis. Documents, spreadsheets, all these things are necessary. Don't worry, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, all of these things are available and you won't have any issues. In fact, you will enjoy it better than your Windows experience. Media consumption is really good because the operating system is so light. Even on older hardware, it is working well. You can watch 1080p 4K videos if your hardware supports it. If it will support it better than any other operating system that I've used, because Linux on the basis is really light. It's a light operating system. On the core, it's a very light operating system. RAM usage is very less, so even on lower end hardware, it will work really well. You will find it snappy, it will work really well. Number 6, peripherals and other support that is built into the operating system without any issues. Like I said, my printer works out of the box. I didn't have to do any settings on it. Same goes for if you're installing it on a laptop. Many laptops, the Linux distros don't support multi-touch gestures, all these kind of things don't work. You'll have to find some workaround for it to get it to work. On this, you don't have to do that. Everything is built into it. Precision divers, all of those things, there are, it's built in. It will start working, multi-touch will start working. All of that is working out of the box. 7th point, you will also like the Windows software detection. So what happens is, when you try to execute a exe file, that is a Windows operating system software, it will try to run it in Wine, and it has some compatible layers. Windows app support is there. It will try to run it, and most of them, they will run. It's not an issue. It runs and you will be able to get it. And even the software store, it will actually suggest that if you have exe, it will suggest that there is a Linux version for it, and you can get that directly from there. So as I said, I'm having a very good experience with Zoran OS, and I'm sure that you can try it out. You will like how it feels. Everything is really smooth, well polished, and the experience is really good. You don't feel like you basically, not like the Windows experience now, that you don't feel like you own your own computer. Microsoft owns it and it's doing whatever it wants with the computer. No, nothing like that. Everything feels polished. The experience is really good. You won't have frustrating experiences of, at least I haven't, and I'm sure you won't, because most people are sharing the same experience. Everyone who is switching to this, they're saying it's one of the best distros for if you are not a programmer or someone you just want an operating system to work for daily tasks. I just want to check my mails, I just want to do some online shopping, some basic tasks. Security on Linux is, as you know, the best, and as long as you don't do shady stuff, of course, don't be stupid, but on the whole, the experience is really good. I'm really happy with it. I'm sure you will also be happy with it. It has a live mode. Just download this thing and run it off your USB. Just check it out. That's the best way, I would say. You can check out how it feels, how it runs on your hardware, and if it works well, then you can back up your files and then you can install it on your computer and you can move to Linux. You can see if everything works on it. You can also do a persistent USB live if you want. It's portable if you want. That can be useful for long-term testing if you want some certain software or something that has to work on it. All of these features are there along with the polish of Zoran OS. There is also a pro version available. If you like it, you can buy the pro version. I haven't bought the pro version, but I am planning to buy it. It's a really good buy as far as I understand. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions, whatever, leave them in the comments below. If you have moved to Zoran, what's your experience? Leave it in the comments below as well. Like, share, subscribe. This has been Jace for TopEvt. I'll see you in the next video.